Welcome, everybody. Welcome to BeoTalk number 390. Holy moly. Happy Mother's Day to everybody around.
All the mothers, grandmothers, future mothers.
I doubt many of you are watching us, but if you are, happy Mother's Day.
Is it a Formula Day? Or for the moms, I guess. Yeah, the mothers.
Next one is Montreal. Was it 2 weeks from now?
Yeah.
So you're going to have a nice city where it's like you can't go anywhere.
We usually stay away from downtown work during that week because it's insane. Literally insane. Like, it's nice to look at the chicks because they really wear it out. But it's not worth it. Like the parking's insane. The roads are, at least they're fixing them somehow now. They're patching the roads, so we'll see how smooth it'll be for the Formula Week because everybody brings their nice cars out, right? But anyways, we'll get to that bridge once we or cross that bridge once we get to it.
Let's do some shilling. Go buy some covers for your A9 and other things at Skinny Play. Use the promo code for 10% off. It's also, the link is in the description if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure I am. But they have some new ones, some cool ones. So if you have an A9, I still need to get an A9 at some point. Just hang it outside perpetually.
I don't think it would get damaged or anything, in my opinion. I guess the only problem you would have with it is the well, you don't really have, because you're screened off, so you wouldn't really have even bugs coming into the freaking baseboard.
No.
So you're good, yeah.
If I wanted to, I can always get some more of that screen and just tape it over the baseboard in the back.
That'd be hard with the friggin' wall bracket on because it hooks into it. Anyways, move on.
Go buy some aluminium covers for your BeoLab 8s at Tigrino Studios. Good friends over there. Use the promo code as well for 10% off. Very worth it. Several colors. I think you can ask for custom colors now if you want, but if not, just send them an email.
Wonder if they're planning to do something for the premiere.
I bet you they are. It just takes time.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because you need to prototype it and make sure that you can repetitively make it, right? And
that grill is quite different.
Yeah. And then first of all, you have to make a design that you actually like, and not just looks good in CAD, but looks good in real life.
Yeah.
Go over to our friend Steve, buy some cables at soundsheavenly.com or .co.uk. Sends them to the UK and or Europe. You can drop ship to the rest of the world. It's just with tariffs and nonsense.
We're not cool over here, I guess. Canada should be cool though. We're still kind of like renting from y'all in England, right?
It depends, right? Like how it goes, because as I understand it from Steve, the real pain in the ass isn't even like the shipping cost or anything. It's the amount of forms you now have to fill out.
Oh, yeah. No, that goes without saying here, too.
Because, where does the rubber or the sleeving of your cable come from, right?
Is it Jesus, they go to those details? No, yes. Here it's just is it dangerous? No. Salute. And it goes, man.
Where's your copper mined? Where is it made?
I wouldn't even know where to tell you. You just make that stuff up, though. How are they going to know?
I don't know, but...
What, they have a cable shield specialist tester fucking over there standing? Oh, yeah, this is not from where he says it is.
But it's
nonsense, bro.
But it's all forms you need to fill out. So, if you send something across Europe, right, it's or Britain, it's one form. And I think to the US, it's 5.
I can see the US, but Canada, I don't know. I don't think so. I think it should be straightforward. I know STB does it. I don't even know how STB does it, because when they send something, it teleports over through UPS. It's insane, dude. 3 A's.
Yes, I've had that as well from Europe to here, where it's like a few days.
Hmm.
Going there, it's like 2 weeks plus.
Yes.
For some reason, I don't understand it, but also the cost from here to Europe is way more than the other way around.
Yeah. Because they're going against the gravitational spin of the Earth, so they burn more fuel.
I guess maybe then send it to Japan first.
Yeah. Quit swimming counterclockwise, boys.
And buymeacoffee.com/BeoWilly. That is our super chat for the
I need to
foreseeable
make one
future.
soon.
They take less of a cut. If you want to support the show, very much appreciated. And it gives Willie a reason to stay up in the afternoon.
Oh yeah, right, that's right. I'll sit on my Eames chair over here and pass out. I can't believe how much of a death trap that became over years.
So yeah, if you have a question that you want a guaranteed answer to or topic, put it there. We try to do everything from the chat if we can, but sometimes it gets too busy, and we'll see how that goes. So that's about it. How was your week?
It was uneventful till it became very eventful.
Meaning?
And Thursday was very eventful, not on my end, but company-wise, because we are now. I think I told you or said this on the podcast. There was a company called Sonder that had like these hotels that they weren't really hotels, but they literally like an apartment unit. Every one of them had an LG washing and dryer machines, LG fridge, LG dishwasher, whatever stove. Like they were loaded up, and they opened too many units and basically went bankrupt overnight. People went fucking for walks, whatever, came back to their hotels with their shit outside on the doors or in the lobby packed up. Like, you guys, yeah, can't stay. This is done. It was all over the news. So it was a disaster. So now somebody else obviously picked up the pieces and they're reopening those. So we are now reinstalling all the locks and all the Wi-Fi's to each units, and it's a lot of laughs. And on Thursday, on the last IQ, which is the Salto control box, it almost looks like a squashed up Apple TV, right?
Yeah.
With a very shitty cable management into it. I don't know what the Spanish are thinking. And you put that within 15 feet of however many doors you have, and that's what, so they can at reception set up the code so you can get in your room, right?
Yeah.
And then they change it once you leave, blah, blah, blah. They hit a fucking hot water line.
Oops.
Drilling for the cable out, and it was like a high pressure. I don't even understand how that's legal in the PVC pipes, but dude, it was shooting water. Like they said, it was disaster, and you couldn't stop it because cold water, at least you can like hold a bucket or whatever, but it was so steamy, they said, that after 10 minutes of this shit going on, there was so much steam that there was literally like only 3 or a meter away off the ground that you could see under like where you're going. Everything was steamed up to hell. So I'm so glad I wasn't there, quite honestly. But this is what went down on Thursday. Friday was a regular day, and that's it. And on Saturday, I decided. Well, not that I decided. I have a client in Calgary that lives in a house that is like Mark 1 BeoSound 9000 and Mark 1 passive kits, right, all over the place. And they're replacing it. So I was making cables. I had to borrow a passive kit just to like make sure that the triggers right. So I made these. I'll show you. I made these RCA with triggers to the passive kit cables because that's what was needed in order for them to work. But yeah, I can appreciate Steve's time to it because it takes a long time to make these fucking wires, man. So there's the DIN plugs that go into the passive kit, and then each of them gets I know they're cheap wires, but that's all I could get here, honestly. And more expensive cables you work with, they're very hard with the fancy shielding. So and you got the RCAs and the trigger. So that goes into another white box that is basically RCA trigger. And we've used it at Quebec-Zone with the LEP 28s, and it works quite well with the ADM player, I believe it was, or some whatever brand.
Good to
and
hear.
it worked very well. So I'm like, figured, you know what, screw this. But the first generation of passive kits, it's a pin 1, which is now not connected. It's a Mark 1 power links, right, instead of a pin 4.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't trigger. So yeah, I spent all yesterday afternoon having some beers and making cables and soldering and having a good time by myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Making cables it's very fucking important, but it is really tedious.
It is tedious. And then the moment of truth, right? Because I have a multimeter as well. So I took each one and beep, beep, right? Make sure that the lines are fine and nothing's shorted. So, because they're going to Calgary and it's not fun when they go on site and all of a sudden don't work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, cables are made. They're going to be shipped on Monday. They'll probably get them Thursday, Friday. And then we'll see.
That hotel thing, it's something you never think about when you're obviously a regular house.
Not in my wildest dreams would I think that I would come back from roaming around Old Port, right?
Yeah.
To having my shit in the lobby.
Oh, I was more talking about the hot water thing, because one of the main issues hotels have, right, is that everybody wants a shower at the same time.
Well, the building wasn't open. It's unoccupied.
Sure, but like you need,
there's still pressure. There's still fucking pressure, man. And the problem was in there. I think they amalgamated like 3 different buildings together, so they couldn't find the goddamn valve.
Yeah, so you just shut everything off.
Oh yeah, no, it was. No, like I said, I'm glad. But he was like, man, in 15 years, I've never hit shit. I'm like, dude, you know, everybody's got a tree that they wrap their car around the post once, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you get the fancier stud finders and stuff, they tell you if there's a line or electricity behind it.
But you can't tell with the PVC pipe because it wasn't like up against. Yeah. It wasn't up against the bloody drywall, right?
Yeah.
It was deeper recessed in, and just Lordy Lord it went. So yeah, shit happens. But you know, I kind of regret that I sold my thermal imaging camera a long time ago from Milwaukee, because they don't make them anymore, and those were sick, man. You could see through walls.
At least you can see hot and cold.
Yeah. I know you could see very well, but too bad, stupid. I sold it. And I want to buy if they still make them, I'm going to buy the big one with the colored camera, right? So you can really see that, because mine was only black and white, but you can still see.
At that point, you should start charging inspection money, right? Like, oh, you're missing insulation there.
That too, yeah. You can see everything with it. It's insane. So, yeah. So that was the week. We spent it basically in that place the entire week. On Thursday, we were called to another job while they popped the tubes, and then we went back on Friday to finish up.
Yeah,
because they have a booking on Monday on 5th floor already. So a lot of laughs.
Oh, jolly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a plumber will fix it.
Oh, it's already fixed. That immediately somebody was on it like right on rice. The fucking fire department showed up and whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole show. 2 restaurants on the main floor.
Yeah. I'm making progress on my bloody bathroom.
No water.
No water issues, but I'm putting in the wastewater piping and stuff like that.
Also, you gotta go through the concrete.
Yes, but turns out for the toilet positioning, right, I had to go through the entire slab.
Yeah.
God, I thought
so. What is that? 8 inches? Is it 8 or 10?
Yeah, it's about. I don't know. It's about that. So it's probably about 8 or so.
8-inch slab. Fuck.
And there's rebar in it and shit.
I was gonna say, how much rebar did you hit?
Actually, not all that much, but there was some. Like all of a sudden, your
It's not moving.
stone bait rod like starts sparking like crazy. It's like, oh, rebar.
5 sticks.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a 2-3 day job. It turned out to be more like a 10-day job, and I really should have hired heavier equipment.
Shouldn't have rent. You could have. Did you rent a hammer drill?
No, I mostly I initially started off with a 4.5 inch
Fucking copper chisel like an Egyptian.
no,
What?
Diablo blade, right? Like, because essentially you don't need to chip as much, right? Because you make the lines where the outer
Yeah,
edge
you
is gonna
trench.
be,
Yeah.
and then you just go at 45-degree angles and then straight 45, 40. So you get out big chunks, but at some point I found out later, like I had to go so deep that you can't twist the blade far enough
Anymore,
because you
yeah.
just hit the other side.
Shit.
So, but that's all done now. The toilet plumbing is installed now. It just needs to drain for where the shower is going to be. And I was going to go like, oh, I'll fix that last night, right? Because I have all the PVC and just glued together.
Hmm.
I need to remove like about this much more because to get it on, I can't make that turn now. It's like, oh my god. And you obviously find this out at like 10:30 at night or something. It's like, if I start doing this now, the whole neighborhood is going to be up again.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's not a quiet job.
No. It's so yeah, I'll do that later. In the hopes I'll do it a bit quicker.
Yeah, the Renos, man. There's always something.
And then we finally can start pouring concrete again, and we'll see how long that takes, because apparently you can only pour it in 4-inch depths.
Mm.
Or at least this stuff, you can only do that. So I probably have to pour it twice, but it should set and be repourable after 24 hours or so. So
At least the nice thing you have that the way it's situated, you can mix it all outside of behind the fence and just bring it through the side door
yeah.
instead of going through the house or mixing it right there. Fuck.
Yeah, it's just
Dust.
ridiculously heavy, right? Like, oh, let's go get some concrete. Oh, it's in an 80-pound bag.
Fun times.
It's just like, oh, this is 38 kilos. Like, holy shit.
Just loading 50s all day. Oh boy.
So,
Yeah, it's not fun.
I should have paid somebody, but I'm so cheap.
You know what? It's I don't. For me, I guess there is a way of looking at it as being cheap, but I find that at least if I were to do any of this reno in Montreal, I would opt in to do it myself because I would pay copious amounts of money for work that I would hate being done because the work quality here is absolutely abysmal, and that sucks. But
Yeah.
I would rather do it. I would say that I have enough skill and experience in doing everything other than like I'm not good and proficient in electrical and plumbing. I just rather have somebody else slope the shit properly. Not everything else I could do for sure. But yeah, it's I don't know, man. There's not much pride left in people's work anymore.
No.
At least what I find.
I mean, I'm still out ahead monetarily, right? Like, because this has turned out to be a full-time job, but like apparently you can charge several thousands of dollars for this.
For labor? Oh yeah.
Like,
100%.
I just don't know what you would need to do to make that much that quickly, right? Like I don't have that type of job prospect having moved here recently.
No, it's insane. Yeah, the contracting here is also insane. Plus, it's insane how much they have to charge. Like, there's the CCQ here, right? Which is, I don't know, Communist Corporation of Quebec or whatever you want to call them for construction.
Yeah.
I guess Construction Communist Quebec Union. So
like
you pay if I was to be an electrician, right,
Yeah.
and hire an apprentice, I have to pay if I pay him $25 an hour, I have to pay him 60 because 35 goes into that fucking union, bro.
Holy moly.
Off of every hour, off of every employee you have, off of every construction person in the entire Quebec.
That is crazy.
Imagine that, how much money they're pulling in. So,
Wow.
yeah, it sucks ass. But that's how expensive it gets here, right? Because
Yeah.
everybody dips into the pie. So
to pay somebody $75, you have to charge 180. Like, what the hell?
yeah.
Actually, you have to charge him more because you haven't even paid taxes at that point.
No. So if he makes $25 an hour, then the taxes come off of that, and then the 35 that just goes to CQ. So he ends up making like $18 an hour.
Yeah, but you haven't made anything for hiring this guy.
Yeah, man, shit. And you're paying $35 for each head that works for you.
Wow.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Anders has a question. Willie, see that you have a BSM 3. I have 2 there. I had to pull off the top plate. It works now, but I must have some self-adhesive tape. Which kind of self-adhesive tape would you recommend?
To glue this together, I guess.
So.
Man. Like, because that is very, very thin. Like, if you look at that, it's very thin.
Yes.
Shit, taki mushrooms, Brahim. I don't know. You know what? I'll ask my technician Brad in Vancouver, and we go from there. But yeah, this is a fully functional guy. You know, the antenna still works. Like, this is the sexy of the olden times, right? Let's give you the time. So it's got the time on it. But yeah, I cannot count how many times I have gotten pulled aside going to the lake when me and my mom lived close together to the lake in Somerset. This was way before the podcast, when I just started working at BNO. And then, excuse me, sir, you can't bring wine to the public place because it looks like a wine box, right? Like, literally.
Yeah.
But no, this one is a playing music wine box. So yeah, now it's a $1,000 block, essentially, from the yesteryears of time. Let's go stand by, show me the time, and that's it. Yeah, I just dug it out because I figured, you know what, I like it. I like the display of it. It very much reminds me of the Twin Towers. I don't know if that's too early or too soon, but who cares? And yeah, I like it. There's still an SD card inside it, 2 gigs full of good old music, and yeah.
R2D2.
R2D2.
It's probably a version of Tessa tape if you were to tape it back up, right? Like I
No,
have seen
because the Tessa is the fabric. Tessa is the fabric tape.
Yeah, but they also make
dampening one.
very thin, clear, double-sided tape, where I don't know, it's like it's almost as thin as like this sort of plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Like the
I've seen
tape.
those. I don't know what service kit I've seen that tape with, but I've seen, I don't know if it was Tessa tape or not, but I've seen those very thin tapes. That might work.
The only thing I don't know is, but this is an experience thing, is which one doesn't yellow when it sits in sunlight. Because a lot of those tapes will yellow in a year or two.
But it won't, because it's inside. It's covered by the aluminium.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the clear bit that you had to glue down.
No. It goes right underneath the touch plate, if I'm understanding correctly, right?
Yeah.
So you just have to make sure that you trim around the edge so it doesn't goop out and look like shit, right? But
probably also with this, in terms of tape, like less is more. Like, don't go like, oh, I need to like properly tape it down, because the next time you ever need to take it off, you can't, right? And you start
You're
bending
finished.
shit.
I think with that, you're also finished. Like it's a one-way ticket with that for sure. Even with the double-sided tape. It's the same, like, I guess, like BeoLab 11, when you're doing the amplifier chassis when it dies, you have to order the gasket because it's going to fart.
Yeah.
You got to do it right. You got to do it right. But for those, unfortunately, there is no parts available, of course. It's a fudge. How long is that product ago? 2004, I think, or 5 when the BeoSound 3 came out, something around there, because it was in the SD card era. So it's 20 years ago. And some.
And it didn't live all that long, as far as I can.
No, it did not. Well, in Europe, it's completely useless, I guess, other than the SD card port, because the FM frequencies are dead. Here, at least, you can still utilize it in its full function and form.
I think it depends a bit on the country, but a lot of continental Europe, it's just DAB plus now. Which is gotta suck, right? If you have a classic car that you can't even use the radio anymore.
The Gold Beamer, now you have a freaking useless radio and a useless middle console phone.
Yeah. Yeah, I recently was looking at old phones, and it's like, or old phones, at old cars, and it's like, ooh, I really like that. Was it E39 BMW 7 Series? Because that's just a regular size car now, right? That used to be huge, but now that's just slightly, just about the size of a 5 Series. And it's like, oh, you had like one of these corded phones. It's like, that's actually kind of cool, but it's totally useless.
But that was like, imagine if you had that, like if you were on the phone like that, and nowadays you would get pulled over for sure.
Yes.
So that was before. Well, it wasn't really that, like, you were somebody else when you had the phone in your car. It's not like nowadays when everybody, you know, if you see somebody driving retarded, most likely they're not drunk. They're just updating their profile somewhere on something. Or status or whatever. So that's it. Yeah, it was the BeoSound 4 that was, after a firmware upgrade, be able to play 4 gig SD cards, but it was still useless because the BeoSound 2 and BeoSound 3 could not read them. But that was a good idea. Digital tapes, more or less, that was their take on it, right? So I don't know, man. Old school times or cool times, but think that back again, full circle, get a new remote already. I'm just gonna hammer that in there one more time. We need a new remote, just for the.
Surely that can't be too much of an investment to make a new one, and you probably should have already spent some on it, you know.
Dude, I'm sure that if they even like reconsider their pile of all these prototypes they have, because I'm certain they have a lot. Like when I was in David Lewis designer's office, like, yeah, there's things that, you know, never seen the day of light, as even not even as a product, because they're made of paper mache, but the concepts are cool, man. Like they had a lot of good stuff. So I'm sure that Noto Design has the same thing. They got a freaking storage locker somewhere full of, you know, idea fails, quote unquote, right, as they call it, because this is not going to work for that, or too early for this design, or this resembles that too much,
too complicated,
or just this is not doable for the cost. So yeah, there's a lot, but I'm sure that they have to have something that they had worked on as far as the remote control is concerned, because like, don't get me wrong, I love me the Beo Remote 1, but it's not that it's dated. I'm just tired of this fucking 14 years of trying to pause and stand by my TV instead. 14 years, bro.
Yeah,
or you press the green instead of the back, right? Especially on the Apple TV, that's a lot of laps because now you're in the main menu.
Yeah.
through POC at least, because I don't have the experience with using the Apple TV on the theater in my house, because I don't need it. Like, all the stuff is on the panel. What's the point of me putting another device in there to go about it?
I mean, it's a very pretty remote. It's just the button layout is kind of shit.
Yes. Or if it was backlit, it would have been a little better.
Even so, right? What I find, and maybe this is a B&O particular thing, right? It's whether it's backlit or not. The idea that you actually have to look at the remote to see what you're doing is kind of non-B&O-ish.
Yeah, but I think that culturally we are more catered towards being eyes on shit now than before. I noticed that from like even nowadays versus back in the yesteryears, right, where people didn't have their phone devices to be that smart, so you weren't really trained to just, as soon as I have a screen, I gotta look at it, right?
Yeah.
So BO4 filled that function perfectly, because the display, forget it at night, right? Because like, what the fuck, you can't see anything on it. And but the button layout was in the way that it was so intuitive that a blind man could operate it. Literally, I have clients that were legally blind, 100% dark, and they had a 3200 with this like a quadraphonic set of 6000s and the BO remote or BO4, and she fucking flew through that remote better than me.
Yeah, that's what I had with the BO4 as well, right? You never really had to look at it. Like sometimes if something wasn't doing what it, then you would like go, "What am I on actually?"
Yeah, when you punch the list and you think you did, okay,
Yeah.
three list pops is my stand, and all of a sudden the format goes different. What the? Okay, well, hold on. But yeah, I didn't suffer with it as much as even the BO6. I understand that this software for it was an absolute nightmare to learn and or understand, but the end result of the program, properly programmed remote, was stunning. And I think that if they retain that in a Bluetooth fashion, because at this point of time, I think that they could cram so much more into that little screen or port behind the screen, that it's, and also make a super efficient display, like something OLED or something that doesn't really burn that much battery, where you have the backlit remote display that kills it, right? I also think that battery technology has gotten far more efficient since what it used to be back in the day. Maybe not make a goofy ass cradle that is locked into their proprietary connection port, but make something that is either USB-C or Qi charger friendly. Like at the end of the day, I don't see why, like, let's say BO6, the footprint that it has, you couldn't use the Apple Watch charger for it.
I mean, with how thick this is, right? Like you can make the whole screen basically a battery, because batteries are now that thin, and then you have like what for a remote, probably a 4-day battery at least, with it being on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, because everything's gotten way more efficient when it comes to power consumption, right? Like this, we're talking about the remote control that came in 2012, 13, I believe, when the BO6 came out. A little earlier.
Let's see.
Pull it up, but I think it was a little earlier than that. I think it was 2011 or 12 when the BO6 came out, because BO5 was around since 2009, I believe.
BO6 2010.
Okay, so
December
even
2010. It was designed to work with the BeoSound 5 Encore and updated BeoSound 5 systems to display art and metadata.
Yeah. And it did it very well, actually. Even the mods worked and everything. Like, that was very cool for its time.
That's 16 years ago. Holy shit.
Right?
Yeah. mean, to
And
think that they had a BO5, essentially the same thing, just a bit older before it, in like the early 2000s. It's
BO5, I
crazy.
think, came out in like with the BeoVision 9, maybe. I think in 2008. Look up the BO5. I think it was 2008.
2007.
So that's a long time ago.
But it's like it's in several ways. What's crazy, right, is that if you have one, right, most likely it's still functional.
Mine does work, yeah.
Yeah, but almost no tech from that era is still functional.
Mm. But you know what, though? That remote did suffer from hardwood, not hardwood, but tile floors were a murder for that. Like, that was not designed for drops properly.
Sure, but like, I don't know, if you drop your computer, it's not going to last either, right?
No.
But just the fact that like the screen, it's not a known thing that the screen goes or anything like that. If
No.
anything, it's the batteries die out. But like, you don't hear
But
any
that's
horror stories
normal.
of the thing frying itself.
No, I've
Right.
never had an issue with it. Never bricked one. It's always the battery. That's it.
It's just kind of crazy that it's like that it still works for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was, if anything, it's just like proper Apple quality, right? Like your original iPhone is close enough from that era. I mean, it was probably the iPhone 4 or something, and it probably still works. It's just not functional anymore, right? Because like there's no bands, but it'll turn on. But there's not much tech from that era that still works.
No. Or Beocom 2s even. Those go back like 2002, I think, when they came out. Thorsten's first design job for B&O. But yeah, it's a shame. I think that they should revive that remote control in a way, shape, or form, because it was a nice remote. And essentially, like, if you think about it, the buttons on the BO6, I'm looking up because I'm looking right at it. Like, all the essential buttons are hard buttons. Everything else you could just have on screen.
Yeah.
You know, your listening presets, submenu you could have on it, your sound, maybe have a button to display signal information, which would be cool. Because I'm sure there's a way to prompt it out of the LG panels, right?
Oh, most likely.
So yeah, there you go. See, and it was freaking backlit too. Like,
yeah, if
I
you're
remember
gonna
making
remake
custom
classics, just do, well, make
Do this.
something. Yeah, make something that runs the app or something like this, or like you essentially
This would make
already
sense.
made a digital remote in the app. Just make something that runs the app.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess make something that runs the app and the BLI app, but that can't be that hard.
I don't think it. I don't see it. Why and how?
I mean, you can probably
They
run it
should be
off some
connected
sort of
the same way
Arduino
as
kind of
Halo.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they should be connected the same way to the interface as Halo is on the BLI, and then you just make buttons and tie them into it, and there's your dimming stuff and whatever. But yeah, I miss that remote a lot. I loved it. I had 3 of them back in the day when they were around. 'Cause I had one on each floor. Even my mom liked it, believe it or not.
Would your mom have ever come to B&O if it wasn't for you?
No, I don't think so. She's not a tech person, right? I made her that over time.
Yeah, I mean, like it being Mother's Day and all, right? Like I'm sort of contemplating a bit, like, because my missus, I don't think would have ever gone for
Dip.
B&O, because it's just, it seems to be not a thing that women in general think much about, right? Like they're sort of good enough at some point and we call it a day. Though the inverse is also true, right? Now it's there. It's like, I would never go back.
Oh, 100%. Like she would not, she can't even imagine, living without it, I'm sure, because everything is so well integrated, right? And she's used to the fact of having music throughout the whole house.
Yeah.
It's Masterlink. She lives on her own. What the fuck do you need multi-room, multi-source, right? Play one station, the Jemne Melodia from Prešov or whatever in Slovakia, it fucking pumps in, and it just plays through the whole house. She's got 3500 in the kitchen, and the bathroom downstairs has a BeoLab 2000. There's a 3500 in the upstairs bathroom in hers, and a BV740 on the wall bracket in the bedroom. So it's all tied in together, right? And then I put a BeoLab 2000 in the laundry room downstairs in the basement, because why not? And there's a BV9 with the BeoSound 5 in the main floor as well in the living room. So yeah, it's all my retired gear and stuff that I traded in over time for labor or whatever else have you, right? Or people just take it because I don't want it. And it's something that you don't throw away, right? B&O is way too nice to be tossed, and sometimes it's not that expensive to fix whatever it needs to be fixed. But it's I definitely started it in a lot of my friends.
Yeah.
Not just my mom. It was funny when I first rolled in the TV, the BV9, when we first moved in together. Big fuck off BV9. 250 kilos or 250 pounds, I guess, was coming through the door. Yeah, it's a lot of laughs taking that thing off the truck of a bed of a truck. But I think what she would miss most in B&O is the lighting system. And it's one of the things that once I go back, that I have to replace the repeater because it's fucked. And therefore none of the aux sensors trigger lights, which once you have your bathroom lights go on and off automatically for past 10 years, it's really hard to go back to whacking shit on the wall.
Yeah. I mean, I have two of those very basic proximity things, right? And they are handy because every time I walk into the laundry room or that hallway where it's always dark, you usually have like groceries or whatever.
You're never going empty-handed. Like from that room, you don't go, right? Or either come in with shit or you're leaving with shit to throw out. So the click-ons are good there.
And it's not even smart. It's just like a sensor, right? It's just
just the Home Depot whatever motion sensor or motion switch.
I think it is a Lutron, but it's
they are Lutron there.
Yeah,
they sell Lutron in Home Depot, right? Like you can have. I think Caseta is the cheapest way to go wireless, more or less, depending on how many lights you have, right? But I don't know. I like the Philips Hue. I like the fact that you can control the different temperatures of the light throughout the day if you wanted to, versus just having one, right?
Yeah. So first I asked or polled, like, what does your mum/wife think about B&O? Fortunately, no wife and or mum hates it, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
The second poll that's still going: would your wife have B&O if it wasn't for you? Nobody said yes yet. And I think that's kind of a marketing / problem B&O has. I mean, clearly, real world experience kind of shows, right, that it's nigh on impossible, whatever marketing you do, to attract women of the men that like B&O.
I think it has a lot to do with how they perceive value in certain things, and this is coming from my personal study of my girlfriend when she was here, right?
Yeah.
Where she, like, what the fuck did I buy? I forget what I bought, and Emerge, exactly. I bought the Emerge, right?
Yes.
And at the time, the black one was like $900, and she's like, "How much you pay for?" I'm like, $900. She's like, "Holy fuck! Like that's a lot of money, like for something to just be in the bathroom." I'm like, "Yeah, but I like music in the bathroom. Like that's just for its value to me." And it's the same
At
thing.
least you
Like
didn't
I
say I
couldn't,
like music in the bathroom when you're in.
but I like the fact that that's where I spend my money, right? Like I understand that you wouldn't, but you went and bought motherfucking $1,300 Margiela boots and shit with the split toe. Looks like a fucking devil. I don't like, but it's your money, it's your thing, right? Like you see value in buying that because I guess it shows your fashion statement outside of home, where I'd rather bake that in here, right? Where I'm more comfortable in my house than I've ever was, and it's not just because of BNO, but it's because I've done it the way I wanted it.
Yeah.
But and my life of fashion is very, very simple because I've had clients that known me for some over a decade and don't remember me being in anything other than red and black, right? So my choice of wardrobe is very, very simple during weekdays. And yeah, but I think that that's where, like, and it comes from like even just like there's few people that I can think of an example, right? Where, he bought an Avant 85. So yeah, she broke his balls a little bit, right? But in the same token, he goes like, "Well, fucking you, but purses for $16,000." So it's hard to argue that. But where I just think that women place their value more in the fashion and their appearance than men do, I guess, in a way. Men put it more into the material, right?
Yeah.
You buy yourself a nice car, you buy a nice house, and you obviously, we all have grown up around some sort of something that had speakers in it, so you fucking want to go for something that is better than what you had from what you remember back in the day. you know Women can't go back in comfort or backwards in comfort in life. That's just where it's at.
Yes. Pretty. I mean, they obviously physically can, but it's not the norm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that's my onion.
on a sort of
I'm making a
company
coffee.
level, right? Like, I was just wondering to myself because B&O has sort of been trying to attract more women, I guess, which is like I'm not opposed to, right? But they have softened some of the designs, I guess. BLAP 5s are kind of very masculine, and so they went a bit more like neutral with 50s. The same with like the balance, right? That's a bit more female friendly, where it's not as eye catching, it's not as hard, it's kind of a bit softer. But if you end up in a place where your design is much more aimed towards women and therefore men don't like it, but women wouldn't get to B&O anyway, like you're in this sort of very high net worth individual strategy again, right? It's just in between the sexes essentially.
Yes.
And I'm not sure that it has occurred necessarily to anybody.
Very few women that I had seen in my career that bought B&O on their own volition, from their own, it's either has been suggested by me when working with their designer during renovations. Oh shit, ran out of the water. God. Or it was that they either came from a relationship / divorced and the husband had it, right?
Yeah.
And then it goes full circle back to what your point was, that once they have it, they can't go back, right?
Yeah.
So, and usually those people, when they split up, like the financials are, Calgary was the worst city in the entire, not just Alberta, but I think Canada, for divorces, and how men would get shafted versus women, because it was a predominantly male-dominated field, right? So most of these women were stay-at-home moms, but when they split up, they walked away with half, or
the
whatever
house
half.
and
Yeah. So the guy still gets back up, but there's been a number of times where I had clients where I went to take the B&O out just to go back and put in cheaper because she like, fuck that, I want that, so. And then I installed his at his new place and whatever, and then so on and so forth it goes. It's weird to also, like, when I look back at it, not just as an installer, but I'm a part of a lot of people's lives when it comes to that. When it comes to these, the P&O weirdly is like that with electronics, that you are part of their life for a long, long time, because as long as they have the product, you're the one that services that, and as long as they like the brand and they like you, they just keep continuing and replacing. And it's not like everybody that buys the next best thing screaming down the block, but some people in 5 years, okay, let's time to upgrade, and boom, then you're locked down again for another 5-10, right? Depends.
Yeah,
That's just the circle of life. But I've never was really able to imagine that when I was before I started working with Bang & Olufsen, because I've never really done any sales, and like any sales that I had was like working at Michael's or whatever. Aisle 44, fuck off, I don't want to see you again. Hopefully I'll hide before you come back and say that it wasn't there, right? But it's a different experience, because you become part of the family to a lot of people too. Like, there's so many places that I've been invited for dinners at night, right? On Friday nights or whatever. Like, it's just how B&O is, I guess, in a way.
Yeah. I mean, any sort of, well, maybe not, that's too broad, but a lot of this home tech, I bet you it's similar in automation, right? And the guys that have home automation at home can probably chime in on this, where their wives, girlfriends, whatever, weren't the one to suggest, like, let's have everything in the BLI or something. It's sort
or
of like
Control 4 or whatever.
No, just if you want to do this, fine, but it better goddamn work. But it's not like I'm thrilled to go do this. And I think speakers, to a large extent, are in the same league, where it's like, well, the TV sound is good enough, right? I can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
But then once you live with it, like, I've heard, like, my missus say, like, it sounds really shit here. Like, but that was a post living with B&O thing.
That's right. That's already the brain damage that comes with B&O, right? And nothing else is just as good anymore.
Yeah.
It's exactly what my point was, Ed. They value that money differently. That not many women value money in electronics,
I mean, a person, that sort of thing, is a very analog, real world problem, right? And you can very much touch it. I mean, that's what it's for. It's, in a sense, it is kind of weird, right? Like, buy, let's say, be like 50s or 90s, and then go to yourself, I kind of can't touch them, because that will depreciate their value really quickly. Like, I can listen to them, but I can't touch them.
Yeah, I don't touch my 90s.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the perfect blend of sort of male-female design, I think, is this BeoSound A5, right?
Yeah, the Centennial.
Because you and I would buy that thinking, oh, the missus will like this, but it'll end up us being.
But you're the one dragging it out on the fucking patio, exactly. Like, it's just, or even when we were going to the parks, right? Like, I bought her, I think I gave her 2 Explorers, right?
Yeah.
I still had to bring mine. Or I used to bring a level in the beginning, right? Because why not? I didn't have the Explorer. I don't think Explorer was even out yet. But the nice thing about the level, that it fits perfectly in the Oakley Icon backpack. It fits perfectly in the laptop sleeve. Doesn't move. So Now I'm like, all right, you're coming with. The only problem is that at the time with the software and the limitation, like if it fucked up on you and you had to factory reset it, or like you didn't have the Bluetooth paired and it wasn't online because of the goofy Google machine, right? It wouldn't let you pair your phone to it to stream. So yeah, it was a bummer. So you had to have it in a hotspot that had the same SSID as my house, and yeah, it was a lot of laughs.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm totally mistaken, but if you look at something like the design of the BeoSound 2, right, especially the original one, that is very masculine. Like
it looks like a kitchen appliance of some sort if it's in a proper setting.
Yeah, I guess they put it like that now, but I don't think I've ever seen any lady sort of go, let's have that. It's much more like fabricy and soft generally, or wood or neutral tone. But like even in the kitchen appliances, right? If you look at the sort of marketing there, like it's a lot of it when it's aimed at women, it's pastel colors. Like it's not like stainless, right? Like, ooh, ladies, here's your stainless everything. It's like, no. That's a pro kitchen. That's a male-dominated space. I mean, I like what they did with all the other colors, right? Like, I think that made it much more palatable, like in this sort of gold or honey tone and that sort of thing.
Les says Harmony and A1, his wife's favorite B&O.
Yeah,
why Harmony? Because of the sexy movement? Yeah, A1 I can understand because that fits in the purse and it kicks ass everywhere you take it.
Probably because the big black box goes down, right? And it's out of the way. Like I still hear it sometimes, right? I wish we still had the Harmony. And so I get that. Like I'm more focused on the actual sound of the
devices,
theater, but
she ain't wrong.
In an aesthetic sense, it's like, yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm glad that that's the only TV that I skipped because I would have been still heartbroken about it if I had to get rid of it to get the theater. Because there's no way I could slap that on the wall in the bedroom. Getting this much out. Be crawling sideways to my bed.
I mean, in terms of aesthetic, right? Like BeoLab 8 it is very metal, but I do think in terms of the sort of shape, it's not as hard edged. It's a lot more, I guess, female friendly, if you will, and that you can fully customize it. Like it's not as hard looking, right? It's
yeah, they sexy. And I think women are more into like the all-in-one deal. But then in all-in-one deal, you got like what, a level balance. I could see that. The BeoSound one is a little too cold. Not many go for shape, and that doesn't even cover the male part as well. It's just not many people altogether go for the shape. They're scared of it, I think.
I don't think they push that to anybody. Because if anything is a female coded speaker, right, where it's accent.
This is it.
Yeah. Like this is a nice looking dining room, right? Like, this can just be whatever it is on its own. It's just be sort of art. And your friends have come by, right? They've seen it once. Okay, let's move all these tiles around, and like next time they're gonna ask, "Is this still the same thing?" It's like, yeah, it just moved the colors around.
Yeah, you can change the shape of it visually as well with that.
Yeah,
I miss my shape.
Still the product. I do not understand what they're doing with it because they're not pushing it ever for anything.
No. I don't know. It's a nice shape.
Yeah, Sandeep says A9 I can see somewhat appealing to both sexes. Yeah, A9, I think, is pretty unisex
Hmm.
because it's sort of like in the middle of like it has a hard edge with the aluminium ring around it, but then it's like soft fabric on legs.
I'm surprised that they, over the decade and some that it's been around, that they had never made a crazy ass aluminium version of it, like the grill. I understand you would have to change the whole speaker facade because there's no grommet holes, right?
Yeah.
Because the grill just stretches over. But I think that would have been cool. Still, my favorite is the picture of a moon on it. I don't know why, but
I still like the Death Star.
Death Star is cool. But I'm not a what is it? The Star Wars fan? Yeah.
Well, you would maybe be more the Star Wars fan if you were for the bad guys.
You know what? I watched Star Wars, and I remember back in the '90s, I got mad that fucking Lego started doing that. Like, you bunch of sellouts because you're going for the
Yeah.
Star Wars, and for them, it was marketing wise very, very good decision. But I just never liked it. I would probably do also like a speaker cone outline, like a big
I mean,
bass driver.
if you want to
know what
be
I mean?
super duper B&O, right, you can put a picture of your BeoSound 2 on your A9.
Like,
Or have like your 90s printed on the cover.
I don't know what I would do. I wouldn't even know where to put mine to begin with, or if I had one.
They have one. I like all these, but they have one of. Oh God, it's an older one. It's this is the moon you were probably talking about. The
Yeah.
Earth is nice too. The
Yeah.
record, the vinyl record, I would probably get as well.
Is the Earth the same picture as the Artemis from the 1960s? They used the same photo. Oh boy. That infinite hole is also funny. I don't know if you've ever seen like these Instagram shorts or whatever, where the people have the area rugs made out of them and the cats
Yeah.
are tripping out. It's fucking hilarious.
Jared says, my wife and mother adore the shape, and my daughter too. Good. Was that a purchase made by you, or did you entice them, or was it sort of like, what do you think about it? Should we get it? Like, or was it sort of you just bought
How
it?
did you come about the shape? Yeah.
And how did they sort of go, oh, actually, I like it? Or was it like, no, let's get that?
Or was it a family consensus to pick all the colors of the tiles?
I mean, the nicest thing about the A9 is that you can do like it's all just a cover, right? Like,
You can go infinite. I'd probably make the white girl with the black B&O letters logo on it. I think that would look sick.
Sandeep says, saw on an architectural digest video, Margot Robbie very happy with her gold tone 18s in her screening room at home. Good. I wonder if that's done by the architect and then sort of loved it, or if she was like, I need some B&O in my life.
Yeah, those I'll never get rid of, man. 18s, there is no way I'm getting rid of those speakers. I like them too much.
Yeah, I mean, their EOL is like you can't even get them really anymore.
Well, no, now it's the used market, right?
Yeah.
But still, I would. I'm gonna keep those, even with the Lab 11, which not even plugged in. But they look cool there together. It looks nice.
I guess the most unisex thing they've ever made, but it's probably just because it's so pretty, is 18s.
Yeah, 18s were.
Jared says it was something that grew on us to buy. Sweet. So, I mean, you probably took the missus to the dealer, right? And showed her. As a company, I would say, like, this is partially why B&O should like listen more to their dealers in general, because there's no amount of Instagram marketing or leaflet marketing or that sort of stuff that you can do where people go, take a chance on that, especially if you, for females, apparently, if you want to attract them.
We're the best marketing, bro. We're the most honest marketing B&O has.
I think I agree with that, though.
We're
I'm
probably
not
the
entirely
longest
sure.
running B&O commercial so far.
Yeah, except we're not getting any money for it. It's more advocacy than a commercial.
That's it, exactly. Part 390, which is unbelievable that we're 10 episodes from Big 400, man. Shit, that's only 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, 11, because you're going to be gone next week, he says, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think, did I say it at the beginning or not? I told you, but I don't know if I told everybody
No,
else.
we're off air still, yeah. Mikey's going to go for a little trip.
Yes.
In a car, not on acid.
Every time so far since living here, I've gone anywhere, something happens and B&O releases something, so maybe it's a good thing.
So maybe it's time for you to fuck off. Yeah.
Next week and
it's time for you to. It's time for you to fuck off. Let's get some updates. Oh, that'd be sick if they came up with a new remote control while you're gone. Then you're totally like the Nostradamus then at that point.
I somehow doubt it, because it's this weird time of year where all B&O people are about to go on holiday, right?
Oh yeah, it's coming. It's coming soon.
Give it another 4 or 5 weeks and they're all gone for like 2 months.
Yeah, good old freaking summer. Gerard says, of all the visitors that came into our house, all of them intrigued by the shape. The rest of our B&O, they don't see. Which is also, I think, good in a way, right?
Yeah.
That if you have B&O, that it doesn't scream like those big Bowers and Wilkins or whatever speakers, that they just look like speakers. I remember when my mom's cousin came from Slovakia, they thought these were like just big fuck off lamps.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, they light up, but in a different way.
Yeah, I had an interior designer over, was this 6 years ago now,
Mm-hmm.
and she was immediately intrigued by B&O, especially the 18s, and she thought they were like some form of very fancy humidifier, maybe, or like, what exactly is this? But like immediately started sort of like
what
doing
is that?
all that. Yeah, like immediately, this catches my eye. I want to look at it. I mean, much more so than the 50s, funnily enough.
50s remind me of a big vase.
Yeah.
You know, like shape-wise, they're architecturally boring, but the accent-wise, they're not. But they are very subdued and designed to just become just this whatever shape in a corner that doesn't really scream at you, right? 90s are a little different. They're nice in the white. They do blend in here nicely. Like the black ones would really stand out. But yeah, let's not kid ourselves. These are hard to minimize in the room. And especially in a regular 800 square foot apartment, they're very hard to minimize, even acoustically. These just look like they belong with the bench and whatever. They look nice.
Yeah, I mean, fives even are sort of a statement.
They are a statement for sure.
I mean, they've come into their own, but I don't know.
I immediately notice fives if I go somewhere where they have it and I just don't know the place. And it's like, look, just in the corner, you can just see that flat LED status light. You know exactly what that is if you've been around B&O more than a week. And yeah.
I mean, when they came, they're getting, I think the fives has aged quite elegantly. But at the time when they were out, right, Like
Oh, it was a
if you had a picture of the fives, right, and you said like describe this person, you would think Porsche design everything. Sort of like you have these like architectural glasses on, right, and you're sort of gray but not fully, but it's like hair gel perfectly, and like you
almost
wear
like me.
a jumper with a collared shirt underneath, right, like that sort of thing. You probably drive a Porsche of some sort, maybe an Aston. But like a Ferrari is too screamy.
Mm-hmm. That's funny. But yeah, I don't understand General why they don't push the shape either, man. I think that's a mistake they're doing, but it's not even a mistake. It's really hard to sell it. I think a lot of people are scared of the commitment of the wall because that's a lot of wall you got to sacrifice in some ways. And in a lot of high-end residences that I come across, they're rather off to have a big fuck off painting on the wall instead, right? Than a shape. But to me, shape would look more interesting. And if you want to go really crazy, the painting that you're buying is the shape is fraction of its cost. So get some funky tile covers on it, and that's it. Make it your own. But
or I don't know, go to Skinny Play and put all these pictures of your family up on the shape.
That's it.
I mean, it's all like, but this is where the marketing falls so flat on its face, right? Like it's like you don't do anything with this thing, like how come?
Right.
I mean, back to Skinny Play, right? Like this is all for shape. Like you can do all sorts of things.
Yeah, it's a shame. But I guess the good idea would be to do the shape like a couple of people on Discord did, and I'm thinking of doing the same thing once I get to Florida. I'll take a big piss off MDF sheet and jigsaw the shape into it, and then run LEDs underneath it all the way around the perimeter of the shape. Which I have 12 tiles, which is 2 by 1 meter shape, more or less, if I do the same that I had before.
Yeah. Look, if I was as mad as Henrik, right, I too would have like a 28 tile shape on a dining room table.
Above the dining room table?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do it. You just have to hide the amp somewhere vertically.
Because, I mean, Henrik, where he lived before, right, that wall structurally was essentially mostly screws from the shape.
Yeah, that was a lot. Yeah, Henrik took it to a next level. I don't think I've seen anybody go that crazy since. But
I mean, he combined like 3 6-speaker shapes together in one, and then still added a sub to it.
I would add a sub to it now too. Listening to it, like even in the shop when this was finally enabled on the new core, it does make a big difference. I'd probably just put the little egg on it.
Since you already have it, sure.
I would put it in the bedroom, but the problem is that it reflects the LED strips elements from the bottom underneath my bed, right? Because it sits on the ground. So if I were to put that, I would probably mount it on the wall because I do have the wall bracket still for that BeoLab 11. Somewhere in the box.
Let's see if Henrik still has a picture up. Because he has now, like, his new house is now like fully home automated, but that's kind of not the one we're looking for. Looking for his old dining room. Where's your old dining room, Henrik?
Have any of you looked at the Mozart control app that Mr. C. Larson made? I didn't because it's not for Android, so I'm unable to test it. But from what I'm seeing and hearing, it is quite fun of an app, and it works, I guess, pretty well. I wouldn't mind getting him on the podcast if we can.
I would love to have him on. As I understand, like I haven't downloaded, I just haven't gotten to it yet with all the other stuff I'm doing. But as I understand, you can save common use or common actionable scenes under a button. So I don't know. Let's say you commonly have your theater on and your BeoSound 2 and an M3 or something. No, sorry, M3 won't work because that's
non-Mozart.
Yeah, but Mark, was it 3, 4 BeoSound 2 and something in the bedroom? You can like if that's commonly on together, you can just make a button where you tap that and it just fires that up every time. Unlike somehow the B&O app, right? Like somehow that can't do that.
Well, you could only do it through BLI versus with the scene button.
Yeah, but you can just have these scenes now in an app without any of the additional BLI or other nonsense.
Yeah, it's a shame. Like, even in my humbled opinion, I think that the Halo is useless without the BLI. It's a really very limited functioning remote control unless you put the BLI into it, and you also invest a little bit into the lighting, maybe shades, or tie in your thermostats if you have them smart enough in a house. But other than that, I think it's a very unusable. Like, at that point, I see it more or less like a metadata display, with the volume control simplified. But even with Home Assistant, but I'm talking within the realm of Bang and Olufsen, Anders. Like, I understand that you guys are doing your Home Assistant thing on Discord as well, and it works in some ways, admittedly, better than what the BLI does. But I still do my BLI push-ups every now and then because I want to keep in shape of it, I guess, and you lose it if you don't use it.
Oh, that's for sure.
And there's always some new thing that you can do with it and tweaking the programs, and it's easier for me to do it for a client when I fuck around with it enough in here that I know that, okay, these and these sequences, then the result of that, in when you tie it in from different buttons. Like, example, goodbye. I have two goodbyes. I have one that goes from a light stop command on the keychain, and then I have a goodbye that goes off of the Halo in the living room or kitchen, I guess. And the difference is that the lights sequentially turn off from here all the way out, and I escort myself with lights to the entrance and leave. Where if it's the other way, when I'm already at the door and I press the light stop on the keychain, then everything shuts off immediately and just turns on one light in the foyer to put my shoes on, and 5 minutes later it turns off. Everything turns off. So that's I guess the fidgety things that you can do with it. It's not something I think that everybody does or a client would normally do, but once you introduce them these different solutions, then they do grow warm to these ideas because it just makes sense.
Yeah. Sandeep says, I'm slightly puzzled why the official app doesn't add some of these things. Maybe it's a resource issue, but it's clearly not all stuff that can be done. I don't think it's a resource issue.
I think it's the head office issue.
Yeah, and a desire issue.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of the people that build the app aren't actually Danish and don't actually live with all these products.
Which is not good. I don't think that people that are working on these kinds of high-end products should not have a real life experience with them.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Were they Croats, or I forget what they were when we spoke to them, or some of them were. And maybe it's a cultural thing, but one of the guys that worked, or one of the upper guys that worked, seemed very sort of disinterested. Sort of like, yeah, we know about that. It's on the fixed list kind of thing, right? It's like,
tell me something I don't know, right? Like,
okay,
basically.
Whereas, like, it sort of seemed like, is it on the list? Yeah, it's on the list. It's like, but everybody complains about it. How are you not aware of this? Like I also think there's more directed at head office, right? There probably is a huge sort of translation layer issue where if we all complain about something, right, it goes to somebody that I don't think communicates all that well to the people actually fixing the complaints.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. A lot of this stuff, I think it just gets lost in communication or translation or something. And like you said, I firmly believe with myself that, if you don't live with the product, you can't possibly know it. Like, there's just no way.
I mean, we directly asked them, God, it's been 2 years now, right? Could you please put the signal info somewhere easier findable? They said they would. Nothing's
Never happened.
The one thing I don't know, right, is how much upper management is involved with their ideas and they're sort of dictating what they can and can't do.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, some manager somewhere of software, like, let's say it's a CTO or something, just says, like, I want it this way. I don't like it that way because I'm used to XYZ, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of a weird straitjacket they're in, where, yeah, I don't know. Because it's strange, right? Because Mr. Larson used to work at B&O, and by himself can make an app that can do all this sort of thing. So you would assume that it's definitely not a resource issue. It's more like somebody that
it's a guidance and commitment issue, in my opinion. I think guidance is more than anything. I don't think that they harvest enough information from real life use cases to actually, like, I'm in the beta, right? So there's been some changes, but I still find that if I'm playing B&O radio or title from the theater and I join the BeoSound 1, which is a ASC platform, right? Or prior to, I guess. No, it is an ASC. So it drops out. It drops out. It skips. And I've increased the fucking buffer to 1 second for network link. And I don't know if it's the router now because I power cycled it and it does the same thing. I joined the level, it drops. I joined the Avant, it drops. I joined the V1, it drops. And I know these are older products, but we still unfortunately live with older generation B&O.
As in, it drops and comes back, or it drops completely?
No. It just keeps playing and then skips out a little beat and then comes back.
Huh.
But it doesn't skip out in the timeline of the music, if you know what I'm saying. It just basically like mutes it and comes back at where it was if it was not dropped out.
It's almost, that sounds like it does a syncing ping, right? Like, we're here.
Something's wrong with the, what is it, time clock manager or whatever they're calling it. So time clock manager is not managing good today, or it hasn't been since the last, I don't know what happened, update. It started with my BeoSound 1 going on strike when I changed from teaser to title. That I've been crying for a few weeks that I couldn't get it done, and then it finally somehow, it was apparently an issue in the app because it kept crashing as soon as I did anything. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I've ever asked for standardized multi-room speaker groups, right, has been 4 years now. I've literally put in that request.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, because I told them, right, like, I have one of these. I want to put it near my entrance. So when I walk in, one press and there's a standard group of speakers that always comes on and the radio starts playing.
That's impossible, but possible. And the only way I can see it being possible with the BLI and a fucking IR link eye, because there is no light commands through Bluetooth on it. So you could it through, let's say, light play or whatever. Then when you press that, that macro would trigger whatever particular speakers you want to have on. That's essentially how my apartment works here, where the light triggers through the moment and turns on the Mozart image.
Yeah, but
And the lights.
there is a way to, like, if you, technically it is absolutely possible, right? To save under a my button. Let's say your theater is on at X volume with speaker group, whatever, and then to see on the network what else is playing at the same time and save that under a bloody my button. That is technically possible, but for some reason we don't do it. We manually have to add everything every time. Yet somehow Mr. Larsen can come about, right? For the Mozart API, he can just go tap some
and it works.
Yeah, and the thing is, he used to work there, right? And I don't even think he was in the software department.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. We have to get him on.
I have to ask him again. I mean, I've spoken to him before, but it's sort of like, maybe ask more of your internal employees, like how they use their stuff, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but if they have a freaking A1 and an Explorer at home, it's really not what you're looking for in troubleshooting experience. Like, you need a theater. You need, in my opinion, at least 2 pairs of Lab 8s in the house. Maybe put them in a theater, maybe put them on a DPL by themselves, and just, like, you need to be able to troubleshoot these things. And the way I would do it, I would survey all my employees. Whoever has different routers in the house, these people are getting these products, right? Because we need to test it on multiple levels and platforms that supply the network to the machine. Because it might not be the fucking machine that is wrong. It could be let's say, particular brand of routers that are not cool or whatever.
I mean, this is slightly anecdotal, but from all the people that I know are the Danish part of B&O, right? That are the Danish employees. They seem to have quite a bit of these products at home, because, like, they don't just work there because it's a job, but
they love it.
Yeah, and they use the customer or the employee discount, right?
Shit, I would too, man. But like, then again, like, do you not report something that is not working right? Like, that's what I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much the amount of resources where they get allocated.
Mm-hmm. See, Sandeep, I have no option to hardwire anything in this apartment, nor do I care for it now. Like, if I stayed here like I did if it was a long-term plan like I did in Calgary, I would not be in this particular apartment. I would be somewhere where there's conduit, because then I could run the cables like I did in Calgary. I don't think I would go full tits nonsense crazy and do Cat 7 everywhere, but I would hardwire everything. The only problem is, like, emerge, right? Let's say it's in the bathroom. Nobody has a fucking network port in the bathroom, right? And that sole product now introduces whatever the time delay is down the stream, because it's the only one that is the one that has the Wi-Fi crutches. So I don't know. In my next place, I'm gonna do my best to hardwire everything. Now the problem also is, like, hardwiring. Let's say you want to hardwire the level, right? Like, then that whole pretty dock thing is, forget it, because you gotta run a cable into the back end of it, plus a USB-C, I guess, for power. But at the end of the day, the level in the bathroom is more or less a permanent installation anyways, even though it just sits there. I don't move it at all unless I, clean the shelf that it's on and clean it itself. Which still to this day, can we get a freaking cleaning mode button enabled in the app to just disable all the nonsense on the touch area for, like, let's say 5 minutes, so the thing can be cleaned up without turning on the my buttons and volume up all the way or the other way, whichever. Same thing goes for the theater, because why do I have to power the theater off or reboot it and quickly clean the glass while it's booting up so I don't trigger stuff? And then cases like yours, because you're not alone in this shit now with the cats walking on the theaters and stuff.
Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah.
Boom. It's windy. It's getting windy here. Shit. Would the issues discussed be an extra barrier for men to dive into BNO? I don't know.
Well, I mean, one of my buddies, right? He's in home automation, and he does these enormous homes and Crestron and that sort of stuff. And speaking to him, I get the impression, right, that it seems to be and these are high-end homes, right? Like not even my house. My house would be too much of a shack to do anything with. But it seems to me that, like, from as I understand, I could be wrong, but the impression I get is that it's mainly the males driving it, and they pick a system. But if somehow the wife can't manage to work it right, it gets ripped out
You're
and they put
fucked.
something else in, or they revert back to stock.
I've seen that happen too.
I mean,
I've seen it happen a lot with Control 4 where people just yank it out. But then again, I guess I'm always seeing it through the eyes of the Bang & Olufsen installer, right? And if I'm going in there, like we're putting the Bang & Olufsen system. And back in the day, the Control 4 wasn't as fun to work with, especially with like the Masterlink based products like BeoSystem 3 and, pre-IP controllable products. That was a nightmare because you solely had to rely on the IR flasher and the commands off of it. So, yeah. And I don't know. I never liked the Control 4 interface, quite honestly. I don't know. It's just I've always had this aversion against it. I don't know. Well, I know why. It's just because I've been there from the very beginning of it, more or less, and I've seen where Control 4 had changed their protocol for all their keypads and dimmers, and it literally overnight all of our installations went obsolete that were prior to that day. Because if you wanted to upgrade with anything, you're fucked. We have to change all the keypads, or because you couldn't do the hybrid of adding another processor and blah blah blah. So it was a disaster, and I kind of never understood it because, like, even with Masterlink Gateway, for me, when I first started dabbling in this automation stuff, like, why not? Like, this makes way more sense to have two separate systems, and one pulls information from the other as far as how it's integrated, and then you just tie it all in one. But if let's say the gateway fails, your keypads are still running. The only thing you can do is when you press the radio, it doesn't really turn on the radio in that room because that's off. But you never lose the lights. But with Control 4, you can lose all of it. And it never happens till fucking Friday afternoon before the people show up for a party, right? Because that's just normal. Or during the party.
Or when you want to show it off to your friends.
Or when you want to show it off. That's a B&O's thing, I think. That it works perfectly till you have a buddy over and you want to do it. You want to listen to those speakers. The motherfucker won't show what turn on. It starts rebooting. Like, I've had that even with the theater when in the first early stages. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Really now?
Yeah.
Remember back in the day when it would lock itself into that flashing white light nonsense?
Yeah.
And I had that once happen when I had a friend over to show him the system. It's like, oh, for the love of God, just don't hit me with it. And how much did you pay for that?
I mean, speaking of home automation, let's see. This is how our friend Henrik has it now.
Damn. What interface is that?
Home Assistant, I think.
That's a lot of shit he's got going on in there. I don't even know what half of it is. I see the cameras.
Yeah, like solar
You get,
panels and that sort of stuff, and
oh, okay, I see.
temperatures, and like half of it I can't read because it's Danish, obviously.
Yeah, but to me, like, I don't know, that's too much of a space shuttle wall controller. But it's cool. I don't know if I need a TV in my control panel. Yeah, that's a lot, dude. To me, that's crowded. Like, I understand, to each their own, right? Not everybody likes their steak medium rare, but I think that's too much.
I mean, if this is your new garage, right? I would probably spend some money on other shit too.
Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, well done, Henrik.
I love the lights. They're like perfectly spaced.
I mean, it's pretty brave to buy a convertible in Denmark.
I'd say
For those 10 days a year, you can actually use it.
it's the same like people that drive convertibles in Canada or Calgary too, right? Like, okay, so yeah, you drive the car for 3 weeks in a year.
Yeah.
Because you can't start in the early spring because there's way too many rocks on the road. So you're gonna get all fucked up. And then by the time they clear it up, it's already June. So July, August. July you don't drive because there's hails and nonsense going on. So then that
Yeah.
moves to August, and yeah. I don't know. Getting a convertible, like I also like I think you're very much like susceptible to a sunburn, like, or a heat stroke, like a son of a bitch when you're driving it for a while down the highway, man. Come on.
I'm potentially thinking of buying an old one, but it's Florida, right? Like, it's sunny all the goddamn time.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I would travel to like Orlando with the roof down.
Not during rush hour, but during any other time of day, yeah, I would. I mean, weirdly, going to Miami, there's almost no traffic for most of it.
Yeah. It's only on the spots.
Yeah, I mean, there's only traffic near Miami.
So yeah.
But I would definitely do that. I mean, I've been looking at what Top Gear called the worst car in the world because I know they're wrong. But
What, PT Cruiser?
no, it's a Lexus SC430.
I think PT Cruiser is the absolute abomination of car manufacturing to this day.
I mean, I'm an old man at heart, right? And listen to your dire straits and that sort of thing in the car.
I do that.
Yeah. I
Nothing
mean, also
wrong
the
with a
car
little
just
bit of
has
dire
a
straits.
very, very good sound system in it. So that's nice. It's not fast by any means, right? It's they only came in automatics. I mean, back in the day, I guess it was somewhat, but like 0 to 60, like 6 seconds or something. But that, like, okay,
It's not that bad. But then again, like,
it's
yeah,
not
you're not
slow,
racing it.
but it's not fast.
I'm very interested in what my driving is gonna be like once I get out of this Montreal nonsense. Because here I drive like I have a dozen eggs out of the package on the front seat everywhere. Because you can't go fast, you can't stop fast. Well, you can't stop fast, but like at 30 kilometers an hour, no matter how much you slam the brakes, it's not gonna be tossing shit to your back of your head in the van.
Yeah.
But no, here it's I don't even know why they have speed limits here because you can't go the speed limit even because there's too many potholes on the road.
Yeah.
At least you can tell who's drunk
Yeah.
because the drunk people go straight. They're just trying to make it home, so they just where everybody else weaves. Oh boy.
I don't know. There is a thing, right, where like cars are a particular kind of shit and that makes them wonderful.
Like what? Like Cuba, the old stuff.
No, those are just good cars, right? And they were good cars in the day. They're just old now. But
Mm.
I don't know, like our Kia, right? Like it's not fast. It's very fuel efficient. It's tiny, but the wheels are at the corners, and like literally doing 180 is so easy because the turning circle is nothing, right? Like it's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
this
No, it's a
little
good car.
go-kart that's not actually fast. So it's the perfect kind of sort of slow where like even if you floor it everywhere, like it makes all sorts of noise, which isn't like literally noise, it's not pleasant noise, but like
Hmm.
you can't really get any tickets or anything because
You can hear it try, but
yeah.
it's not delivering.
Yeah, something like that. There's I mean you have these back in the day in Europe, you had like these Peugeot, was it 205, and they're 205s, and they're like tiny little shit boxes, and some of them you could buy with like nice engines, but the common engine was a 1.4, right? And
Hmm.
like even if you clutch dump it, you can barely make your tires squeal, right? But since it doesn't weigh anything and it doesn't cost anything, and even if you manage to do a burnout, like and like pop the tires to replace your tire was like 50 euro because
Yeah,
like the
that's nothing.
tires are like this wide.
Oh man, the little boys.
Yeah. I
Yeah, here I'm hoping that I don't pop anymore. I've popped enough tires in Montreal.
mean, through family, I'm getting one of these American big ass trucks, right?
Hmm.
And
Those are not cheap tires on those things, man.
oh no, but it has an enormous engine, right? And it's a diesel twin turbo, whatever. But it's slow as shit. It'll pull anything.
Well, it'll pull an Abrams tank, but it's not going to take off on you hard.
Yeah, but it's the perfect amount of boat where it's like fun to drive because like speed humps and stuff are sort of like
Oh
this
yeah,
sort of
no, it's
action,
you
right?
just fly over it.
So
Is it
you
a
kind of
dually?
don't no, but it is an F-350.
Jesus Christ. For all
So
the Euros that don't know what F-350, that is the largest engine and largest truck that you can buy, more or less, unless you go into the, well, they're pretty much like 1 tons at that point. But this is still like a pickup truck territory, the largest one.
yeah, so it has an 8-foot bed and you can still fit 5 people comfortably in the cab.
That's just fucking long, but like that's not even practical in Europe. There's no way, dude.
It doesn't fit anywhere.
Like I
It
see
barely
this here
fits
when we go
here.
to Oldport, which is basically the same streets width in like old London would be, right? Because it's been built around a horse and a buggy. And dude, like even guys in sprinters are having a hard time fitting through shit because
Yeah.
it's just too big of a van.
I mean, to put it in sort of Euro perspectives, right? Like it doesn't fit in my garage because the cab is too high. Like it would literally hit where the door rolls up.
And it's not raised, is it?
No.
It's just stock.
Yeah.
Yeah, so imagine if you put another retarded 4 inches on, shocks or whatever, dude. Come on.
I mean, if I stand next to it, right, and if I want to, I don't know, check the hair I have left, I can literally just stand up and look into the mirror. That's how high the mirror is off the ground.
Okay, full circle back to wife approval factor. Like Megan's a small lady, right? Like she's not a tall girl. Like, what are you gonna do? Like to load her in that van? I mean, in the
Well,
truck, bro.
you have to get in bars. Like you have these grab handles, right? So you open the door, you grab, you put a foot on the metal bar on the rock skidder, and then you hoist yourself up.
The
Put
fucking
yourself.
door opens and like a bag of climbing chalk comes out, so you can and get
Oh
in.
no, these are permanent rock skidders that are off to the side. Like the rock skidders are like yay high off the ground, so that's like
That's
what,
fucked up, man.
like 60 centimeters or something off the ground. And
That's
that's where
just
you
retarded.
and then you have these grab handles, right? Like one on the B pillar, one on the A pillar, and you sort of hoist yourself in.
No, it's a normal day at work. That's how normal people get in the cars. Fudge.
But it's fucking lovely. I love that thing. It's also very old, so it makes it even more fun, right? Like, I think
The analog.
I think it still has a cassette player in it.
Sick. Are you gonna buy one of those tape converters so you can plug your phone into it?
Maybe this is the only thing where I may modernize it, is just putting one of these double din radio things in.
Oh, with the big screen and whatever.
Yeah, because like this was from a time when it doesn't even have sat nav.
Oh shit!
Like not even the old one, right? There's no screen. There is like that old green like
display. Oh yeah, that they've had millions or billions of, and they put it into every single car since 1975.
Yes.
And all the buttons are the same too.
Yes, you can see what sort of FM frequency you're on, but that's about it.
And you have to still put your hand on the display because it's dim as shit.
But it's one of these ultra work trucks, right? So just in the front alone, I think it has 5 cup holders.
That's so American too, because I remember when I lived in Slovakia. This is 27 years ago, right? Like, I don't remember cars having cup holders like Skoda, right? That shit, no, man. No, you didn't drink. Like, people now take a freaking 2-liter bottle with them like they're crossing Mojave Desert. Bro, you're going fucking to the boulangerie 2 blocks down to get bread.
Yes.
I'm the same loser. I used to take my bottle of Perrier. God forbid I get stuck, right? So, but yeah, I've never come across this crazy, and trucks they're very unique for that. As far as the cup holder dispersion is insane, because you got 2 in the door, 1 on the side dash, and the 2 that pop out, and 2 in the center console, right?
Oh, these are 2 in the center console, 3 on the side or in the armrest.
Yeah,
there's probably 3 more in the door.
I'm sure the door wheels they fit like the 7-Eleven, I mean, 4-gallon big gulp slushy cup.
I mean, the armrest, right, is like this wide. The armrest is like 40 centimeters wide or so.
It's a fucking seat.
Yes. Well, in other variants of the truck, it is a seat.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the bargain basement version, right, you can fit 6 people in the cab, and what is it?
That's like a fleet truck then, more or less.
Like 6,000 pounds of stuff in the bed.
That's insane.
Yeah, somehow in this country you can drive that with a regular license.
Well, you can rent out big trucks with the regular license here up to certain tonnage, which wouldn't happen in Europe. Like U-Hauls, those shouldn't be allowed, in my opinion, for people to just drive, especially like the ones that don't even own a car and they do like the commune auto, as they call them here, piéton au volant, because they are pedestrians behind the wheel. And and then they sit in this big ass truck and drive. It's very scary.
Yeah, I just remember that guy. Who was it? I think it was some Canadian chap that used to say that you weren't a real man until you had a truck. Well, I'm getting a truck.
Oh yeah, I forget his name. Who was that guy? He was on my ass all the time. That I need to get a truck. Oh, this goes like at least 4 years back on the podcast. We had a guy that just could not let it go. Couldn't believe that I was in Alberta driving an Audi instead of a Ford F-150 or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think this truck has I think it's either 35 or 36-inch tires.
Yeah, I know those things are huge, man.
Yeah. So
I know, statistically, Alberta was the only province in not North America, in Canada, with the largest parking stalls lines, right, in the entire Canada, because we had the biggest count of pickup trucks per capita. And it slowly shifted now towards the SUVs. I remember back in the day, all the girls would drive a pickup truck because it was the safest thing, right? Because you're driving this huge ass boat that, if your driving is bad, then the safety will at least keep you alive when you roll it. But That's another thing, is that they like to roll a lot, and for that reason, I'm out.
Let's see. Inch to centimeter.
2.251 or 512, something like that.
This truck is just under 7 meters long.
That's retarded, man.
It's like 6 meters 70.
It's a fucking microbus back in Europe, more or less.
Yes.
You can haul more people than, or more weight than people, I guess.
Yeah, I think if you was it? I think according to the specs from Ford, you can pull up to like 30,000 pounds, which is like 15,000 kilos or so. So like, I can pull like 6 of your Audis.
First, I'd have to have them. Fuck. But yeah, no, those are. Well, they do use them as car transport here. I've seen them before. That they have the 350s with that car trailer on them, and there's like 10 cars on it, loaded, and it just goes, no problem. It's easier to manage than the big semi. It's shorter, but
yeah, it's just all a bit crazy, but might as well.
Well, it's just. I watched this. I probably mentioned it to you before. It's a Slovak YouTube channel, and it's two good friends that they had gone. First, they went to Yakutsk, the coldest place on Earth, right? The minus 72 Celsius. That they drove the 1997 Skoda Felicia all the way the fuck across the entire Russia over there, and they did the same thing with the Skoda going through, starting at Florida, Miami, and driving all the way to Alaska. And everywhere they stopped, bro, that Skoda looked like a pocket car.
Well,
comparatively to what the size of the vehicles in North America are driving. But everybody looked at it because they ain't never seen anything like that in their life. Yeah. So it's such a funny show. And they made it all the way to Alaska. They're coming back now. I think this Thursday is the last 34th episode. And that's it.
Yeah, it's crazy how big cars have gotten. Even in Europe, right? Like this 3-4 months before we left, I was in my car at some light, and in front of me was I forget if it was, I think it was a Golf Mark 1 or Mark 2. And next to it was a brand new Polo, and the Polo was bigger.
Well, like if you look at the Cooper
the Polo
Mini,
is a smaller version of the Golf.
Yeah, but if you look at the original Mini Cooper to the one that is now, you can fit the Mini Cooper into the now one inside it, because it's just gotten so big. I don't know.
I do like those new Minis because they are still kind of weird.
But they're so girly inside, bro. They're rounded, everything, man. I don't know. I might as well, like, I would never be sitting with you in that car when you're driving it, because we might as well be kissing, bro. There's no way I'm sitting in a fucking Mini.
I'll get that one in a convertible because they have them in convertibles too.
No. That's a fucking. I'm taking an Uber.
Really?
Oh, Christ on a cross, man. It's going to be a backseat or a trunk. Fucking close the roof. Ain't nobody going to see me here in this. But yeah, no, they're very girly cars. I've seen a couple of the interiors. It's all round. It's styly and girly and pass. Hard pass. So.
Yeah, so I may end up with two cars, but they're all old because I don't like any of these new cars really, and they're also expensive now.
I think the new cars are just the built-in obsolescence is very, very real, and things just break much quicker. There's way too much electronics in this shit nowadays, man. I don't think that Like, I'm perfectly content with my Audi as it is. I don't need to have a 32 different LED color palette of all my trims to be changed and shit. Like, you need to understand, like, every single one of those, there's gotta be at least 5 conductor cable going in, or a 4
Yes.
conductor cable going in, red, green, blue, and the ground to mix these colors, plus your powered windows, all that bullshit you got going on there, the backlighting of it all. Like, there's a lot of cable that is going inside these, just the doors. Or I don't like the new screens. I don't like, give me the fucking buttons back.
Yes.
Give me the buttons back. I don't want to wrap my car around the telephone pole trying to figure out where the fuck the heated seats turn on.
Is that too much to ask?
I think European Union is turning around with it now, right? That they're trying to push for at least the simple button control. From what I've heard, I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, but, well, it's either that or they're gonna pass a law that you can't adjust your AC, right, whilst driving. Because, like, if you can't hold your phone while driving, right, what's the difference between going through this touchscreen thing to get to your
17-inch Tesla display, right? Like, that's not distracting at all with showing the traffic when the car's going by you. Like, do you really need all that?
Yeah. Like, you can't be on the phone, but you can play Angry Birds in your car.
The only thing I like about the Teslas, they're the most cut-offable cars that has ever been made. Because even though he doesn't like it, the software will not allow it. So you just into the lane.
Yeah, Ford just filed for a patent where they facial recognize you and fingerprint you when you're holding the wheel to see if you're like some kind of criminal. And they may like disengage your car that you bought.
There's going to be a time where they put the sensors in where they measure your eyes, pupils dilation, whatever, so they can prevent you from driving high or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Which then also, like, if it's some sort of a medical emergency and you're pumped full of adrenaline and your pupils are all wide, all of a sudden you won't be able to start the car to drive your mother to the hospital because the car would not allow it because you're too stressed.
It's just a way to get out of insurance payments.
So some like that may come down. I just don't like it, man, because at some point that information and all this online shit that is on the car will at some point be harvested by insurance companies. I guarantee you that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean, I was reading somewhere where, right, like, we're at the point where, like, if you purchase this thing, it doesn't run without the software, and therefore it's never really yours because that somehow is a license, even though you purchased it. So somebody said, if
I don't know which brand was it that they wanted to do a subscription-based heated seats.
I think it was
Toyota. I think it was, right.
Yeah.
The fuck is going on?
And BMW said if you want Apple CarPlay, right, you're gonna pay us $100 a month or something for CarPlay.
Holy.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's a freaking headphone jack and into the aux in. See, there is no way I would be doing that. $100. I'd rather listen to the sound of wind.
I mean, we're at the point where, like, if purchasing isn't owning, right, then piracy isn't stealing.
Like, I would agree with that.
We're back to, like, fucking 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, HMV's gone. All the music shops are gone. You can't just buy a CD and have it for life. It's now, some of the music I've lost because I went from Tidal or from Deezer to Tidal now, right? And I've forgotten some of the tracks. And do I really want to relog back into that account to harvest all my music back? And it's just nonsense, dude. It's unfair. But we're all paying for it.
Even Amazon is sort of like with the Kindles, right? Like the old Kindle no longer is going to be supported. So the books you bought in there are no longer yours.
Sweet.
So you have to rebuy all these books again for your new Kindle. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh, man. That's depressing. Anyways.
Yeah.
So we're gone next week?
Yes. I'll be doing a little tour around the South. Like, literally, I'll be making a big loop around the U.S. South, and I'll report back, and probably we'll have something for us, but by announcing it, they probably won't. So we'll see where this goes.
We'll see.
So have a good 2 weeks, everybody. Stay safe, have fun. Go buy Willie a coffee if you're really bored in the meantime. Go pester him.
Thanks for watching.
Discord.
And leave a like and subscribe. We haven't said that in a while. So do that.
See you soon. Dag.